Hello folks, I'm Jimmy Henderson, CEO and owner of Green Street Construction. On behalf of our entire team, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us for this first crucial step in pre-planning for success. I'm sure that we can all agree that the normal course of construction delivery in our industry is in dire need of repair. Aren't you tired of general contractors creating a construction schedule without considering your input and expecting you to be satisfied with how we see it? Don't you think it's time we show the proper respect and appreciation you deserve for your expertise and dedication to your craft? Isn't it long overdue to make our project sites a fun and productive atmosphere that benefits us all? I hope that your answer is a resounding yes, it is. We have set in place a completely different approach that we are excited to be able to share with you. The Green Street Production System, known as GPS, is full of learned ideas, streamlined processes, and visual communication tools that help us achieve far better outcomes for our projects. I understand if some of you have reservations. Change isn't always easy to embrace. However, please know that this change is about you, our valued trade partners. It is about creating a better work environment, collaborating towards a common goal, and managing a project in lieu of daily reacting to it. It's time that we exchange the fireman's hat for the construction management hat. Now, I want to say, this will require your complete buy-in and trust for this to work effectively. For those that are new to this, don't be discouraged if it initially appears to be complex and unfamiliar. Trust me, when you catch on to this process, it will become clear how this will repair so many issues that we have been experiencing far too long. Let me introduce you to Mr. Jason Schroeder. Jason and his team from Elevate Construction dedicated a full year to teaching us these different applications and tools to ensure that we are set up for success. His extensive construction background, steeped by years of field application and experience, uniquely equips him to guide us. Jason is going to explain the flow of our sequence pull plan. Please pay attention and prepare to dive in with both hands and feet. Thank you for being here. Jason, let's get started.
Okay, so here we go. Here's the definition of pull planning. Pull planning is a collaborative scheduling method in construction, and it takes a reverse approach to sequencing. This approach takes multiple team players from the project, your last planners preferably, and gathers them together in a team, and they identify a key milestone to pull from, or some people say pull to, right? But you create a pull plan backwards from that milestone to identify a proper sequence, to identify durations and relationships within that sequence based on needs. When you're done, you should have all details and requirements on that pull plan as a part of that completed sequence. Not sequencing, but a pull plan that creates a sequence. So let's go over to the flip charts. You knew I was coming over here pretty soon. You were right. So I want to draw for you what a typical pull plan might look like, and I'll draw it, but imagine that you have stickies on the actual board or your pull planning wall. So you can see I've drawn over here a milestone. That's one of the first things that you're going to identify as a part of the pull planning process. And a milestone is a point in time or a point of completion or the end of a phase or something that demarks what you want to pull from or pull to, meaning you want a sequence that tells you how you're going to get to that milestone. Now, once you have the milestone, like we talked about before, you're going to pull it backwards. Now, there's a specific reason for this that I'm going to explain right now. If you go at it from a different direction and you say this is activity number 1, what's the next activity in the sequence as a part of your sequencing efforts, you may forget that there is another activity over here that is required for activity 2 to even happen. So you may forget what actually needs to take place for this pull plan, this sequence of activities, to actually be successful. Now, when you do it backwards, so real quick, that's when you go in the forward direction. When you're doing sequencing, when you're doing a pull plan, you're running it backwards, and your sticky format will look like this. Typically, you will have your activity duration, you will have your crew count, you will have the actual activity name. So I'll write that down here. And then you'll have something really, really interesting. You'll have needs, or what some people call predecessors, or what some people call constraints. And so if this is a need, then when you put this first sticky up, then you ask for the other activities as a part of the sequence to be populated on the board based on those needs. So when you do this, and you start out with this first activity, by the way, this is the first activity, and you say, hey, well, in order for this to happen, I need this. Well, then you put that up on the board. Okay, well, also for this activity to happen, I need this. Okay, well, let's put that up here on the board. Also for this activity, I need this. For it to happen, I need this. Well, let's put that up on the board. And it populates a sequence in the reverse to where we capture all of the needed activities that are a requirement for that one to take place. And so when you run it backwards by way of a pull plan, not only are you using lean methodologies and only doing things when it's ready, but you're getting a more complete sequence because you're doing it not based on sequence number, but based on need in the reverse. So that's why we do it in the reverse. It gets your mind thinking about the proper things. It's not what's the next thing, it's what do I need. That's why you're moving it in the reverse. Got it?